Yuya always felt like the world didn't like him. Even though he felt this way, he still wanted to help people. One day, while walking down a quiet street, he saw a girl named Carrie being bothered by some bad guys. Carrie didn't want to talk to them, but the bad guys tried to get her to join them for a drink. Yuya's heart beat fast as he watched. Gathering all his courage, he called out to the men, telling them to stop. The bad guys looked at Yuya. He was a bit overweight and didn't look like a hero. They made fun of his looks and started to hurt him. Carrie was too scared to help and just stood there. Luckily, the sound of police sirens scared the bad guys away. Carrie ran to Yuya and asked if he was okay. Yuya said he was fine and walked away by himself. As Yuya walked home, he thought about his grandpa's words. His grandpa always told him to be kind and brave, even if things were hard. Yuya's grandpa was the only one who cared about him. When his grandpa died, he left Yuya the house and some money. Yuya's parents didn't care about him and took his grandpa's things, but they couldn't take the house. So they left Yuya all alone, and he had to work every day to survive. School was tough for Yuya. Kids were mean to him, and they wrote bad things in his notebook. His younger brother and sister, who were good-looking, didn't treat him nicely either. On his graduation day from middle school, the bullies beat him up again. Yuya ran to his job with a black eye, but his boss was mad at him for being late. Yuya went home, had some noodles, and cried. In frustration, he punched the mirror and found a hidden door in the bathroom. Inside the hidden room, Yuya discovered many strange things. He found a door that took him to another world. Yuya was amazed to see a magical menu appear, like in a video game. The house and everything inside became his because of magic. Yuya found a powerful sword and went outside to practice. Suddenly, a scary monster appeared and attacked the house. The magic kept Yuya safe, and he used a spear to defeat the monster with one powerful throw. The spear came back to him, and the monster disappeared, leaving behind treasure and armor. That night, Yuya's body changed because of the magic. He became very strong and handsome. When he woke up in the morning, his clothes didn't fit anymore. He didn't realize he looked different and went back to the other world to explore. Yuya found healthy vegetables in the garden and noticed that monsters didn't scare him anymore. He got better at using weapons and found delicious treats like coffee jelly. Yuya used the treasure he earned to buy a new uniform for high school. When he arrived at school, everyone noticed his new look. The bullies thought he was a new student, and even his brother and sister were surprised. Yuya ran to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. He was shocked to see how different he looked. Yuya couldn't believe that he was now strong and handsome. Yuya's little brothers and some bullies trap him by the road at school during break time. They keep asking how he changed so much, but he doesn't give them a clear answer. This makes them mad. They say he will never be as good as them because he's not smart or good at sports. Suddenly, a fancy car shows up. Kai, looking very nice, gets out. She calls Yuya's name and says he looks different since they last met. She reminds him that she's the girl he saved from bad guys at a store. Yuya remembers, but wonders how she knows his name. Ki says she found out about him to thank him and admits it was a bit rude. She asks him to come to her special school, USI Academy. Yuya's little brother guesses that she's from a special school because of her uniform. Yuya is surprised she's inviting him. Kai says she is a student leader, and her dad, who runs the academy, wants to reward Yuya for saving her by letting him go to the academy. Yuya feels he doesn't deserve it because he got hurt and isn't smart enough. He thanks her but says no. His brothers beg to go instead, saying they are better in school and sports. But Ki says no and tells them she knows they've been mean to Yuya. This makes them very sad because they can't go to the academy now. Ki tells Yuya that the school cares more about being a good person than being smart, so he can still join. Her helper suggests showing him the school, and even though Yuya is nervous, Ki says they will tell his principal, so he agrees, leaving his brothers and the bullies mad. At the school, Yuya is amazed by how big and famous it is. They go to the chairman's office, where he welcomes Yuya with tea. The chairman thanks Yuya for being brave and invites him to join the school because they like students with good hearts. Yuya remembers his grandpa's wise words and agrees to try the school for a day. Yuya goes to a class taught by Miss Ada, a smart teacher. He is nervous but introduces himself to the class and sits by the window. A girl says he looks very handsome, and the other girls are impressed. The best student thinks of Yuya as a rival. The teacher asks him to share a book with Hayu, and Yuya feels shy but soon sees that the class is fun, and the students are happy to learn. After class, many students surround Yuya, asking questions. He feels shy until Rhea invites him to the cafeteria. Yuya is amazed by the tasty food and picks the daily special because it's a safe choice. As they eat, he notices everyone staring at him, probably because of his different uniform. After more classes, he returns to the chairman's office, excited about the school. He tells the chairman he wants to join and thanks him. Kai is waiting outside and is very happy when Yuya says he wants to join. Later, Ki and Yuya visit nice shops where students go after school. Yuya asks if Ki usually comes with friends, but she says she doesn't because her family is important, and people act differently around her. She's happy to be with Yuya, which makes him shy. He changes the subject by suggesting they try a crepe store. They enjoy different flavors while other students watch them. Kai says she recognized Yuya by his kind eyes, even though he looks different. Yuya blushes, and Ki asks him to call her by her first name because they are friends now. Yuya was ironing his clothes, but he couldn't stop thinking about the lady he saved in the fantasy world. He wondered if she was okay now, but he felt a little better knowing others were taking care of her when he left. Since his body changed, only 2 white shirts fit him. He had money from his adventures, so he decided to buy new clothes. Even though his magic shirt never got dirty, he didn't want to wear the same thing every day. Yuya went to the mall to shop for new clothes. Everyone stared at him because he was very handsome. It made him feel shy, so he hurried to a store. In another part of the mall, a photographer named Hikaru was upset because the model, Sho, was late. This was causing a delay, and Hikaru was getting very angry. Yuya struggled to choose clothes because there were so many. 2 ladies started flirting with him, but Yuya politely said no. Meanwhile, Hikaru decided to find a new model at the mall because they were in a hurry. Hikaru's assistant didn't think they could find anyone good enough, but they started looking. Yuya moved to another store, hoping the ladies weren't mad. Hikaru saw Yuya and asked him to be the model. Yuya agreed to help. As Yuya and Mu, the female model, posed for pictures, people gathered to watch. Yuya was nervous, but tried his best. Mu was very nice and helped him feel better. In the fantasy world, the lady Yuya saved, Lexia, was getting better, but wanted to find Yuya to thank him. She told the guards she would go find him, even though it was dangerous. Back at the mall, Yuya and Mu took a break. Mu apologized for making Yuya work so hard. Yuya said he had never worn fancy clothes before because he wasn't good looking before. Mu shared that she started modeling because her parents were always busy, and she wanted them to notice her. Suddenly, Sho, the late model, showed up and tried to flirt with Mu. Yuya politely told Sho to stop, but Sho got angry and tried to punch Yuya. Yuya dodged and accidentally threw Sho to the ground. Everyone was shocked, but then they cheered for Yuya. Sho was embarrassed and ran away. Hikaru thanked Yuya and offered him a modeling contract, but Yuya said no because he had other things to do. Hikaru gave Yuya some fancy clothes as a thank you gift. Mu said she hoped to work with Yuya again. On the way home, Mu looked at the pictures from the shoot and blushed, thinking about Yuya. Hikaru teased her about it. Yuya went home and admired his new clothes and shoes. Meanwhile, in the fantasy world, Lexia and her guards were attacked by goblins. Yuya appeared just in time and saved them again. Lexia was very happy to see Yuya and asked him to marry her, surprising everyone. This is the end of the video. Subscribe to the Anime Sphere Recaps channel for more anime recaps.